General Motors undergoes massive layoffs. A winter storm dumps the north with snow, and a Red River rematch goes down this weekend. This is OU Nightly.
Get far too much, and they have done a lot for General Motors. And I'm going to tell you one thing right now: the sooner they realize that plant's not closing, the better off it's going to be for everybody. We can get back and do what we do best and build cars and trucks.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Sam Brown.
And I'm Ashley Eddy. We begin tonight with a major blow to the U.S. auto industry.
General Motors announced this morning it will be closing 5 North American plants.
That means almost 15,000 workers will be losing their jobs. This decision comes just a few weeks after GM offered contract buyouts to a larger number of senior employees to encourage early retirement. We're talking everyone from factory workers to a quarter of GM executives. The closures will affect plants in the United States and Canada as the company attempts to restructure operations.
GM says the change comes in order to cut costs and focus more on electric vehicles. The company used a similar strategy in Oklahoma in 2006 when the Oklahoma City plant closed its doors. The plant is now used for aerospace manufacturing.
President Trump says he's not happy about this move. He says there's a lot of pressure on the Ohio General Motors plant in particular.
We have a lot of pressure on them. You have senators, you have a lot of other people, a lot of pressure. They say the Chevy Cruze is not selling well. I say, well, then get a car that is selling well and put it back in. So I think you're going to see something else happen there, but I'm not happy about it.
This comes after Trump's 2016 campaign promised to create more jobs for General Motors and the auto industry overall. Meanwhile, the big story on campus, a once-in-a-lifetime Red River rematch. OU will face Texas in the Big 12 championship game at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. This is the first time the teams have faced off twice in one season since 1903. According to StubHub.com, upper-level tickets start at $114. In the lower levels, ticket prices are up to $1,200. An initial batch of OU student tickets was offered, but sold out in minutes, leaving many Sooners in the dust.
It was annoying because there was such a few amount of tickets, and the people that did get them were just trying to resell them for a price that was way more than I could have purchased it for originally. And obviously I want to go to the game since it's one of the last games that I could go to of the season.
There's good news for OU students, though. Just moments ago, OU Athletics announced additional tickets will go on sale tomorrow, Tuesday, November 27th at 10 a.m. Students will have to purchase the tickets like they usually do online. The tickets are for the 400 section and the standing room only area that's available at Callaway Stadium.
More cases of a polio-like disease are confirmed by the Center for Disease Control. The CDC identified 286 possible cases of acute flaccid myelitis in 31 states. Oklahoma is one of those. Of those cases, 116 are confirmed. The CDC says almost all of the patients in the last 4 years have been children under the age of 4. Right now, it's unclear if there is a greater risk of AFM in states that have a higher number of cases, or if those states are just better at identifying and reporting patients.
Today marks the biggest day for online holiday shopping, with retailers expecting to bring billions of dollars on this Cyber Monday. Most online retailers offer deep discounts today, some on big-ticket items. If you're still shopping online, experts say go directly to a retailer's site. Don't just Google what you're looking for. If goals are hit, this will be a record-setting shopping day. Today's sales are estimated to reach $7.8 billion.
And while some people may be scouring Amazon for Cyber Monday deals, others are using today as a chance to express their frustration with the company. Protesters gathered at an Amazon store in New York to oppose the new headquarters being built in Long Island City. Another protest is taking place Monday evening in Queens. The protest Facebook event says the heartbeat of Queens is in the working class and immigrants, not billionaires. Protests are also concerned Amazon's presence in the area will displace existing residents. And a migrant caravan arrived at the U.S. border in Southern California over the weekend. Austin Hernandez joins us in the News Center with details on how the U.S. Border Patrol responded. Austin?
A major U.S.-Mexico border crossing in San Diego was closed for hours after a group of migrants on the Mexican side rushed the border. About 500 migrants overwhelmed police blockades near the San Ysidro port of entry. As the migrants tried to cross, U.S. Border Patrol agents responded by firing tear gas at the group. U.S. Customs and Border Protection said migrants threw projectiles that struck several agents, and the tear gas was to dispel the group for the agents' safety. So far, Tijuana police have arrested 39 people. Jury selection has begun for the man accused of killing Heather Heyer at last year's Unite the Right rally. The process is expected to take 2 or 3 days, and the trial will follow. James Field is accused of plowing his car into a crowd of counter-protesters, killing Heyers and injuring several others. Heyers' family and friends say she was at the rally to speak out against racism and died for her beliefs. Field stands charged with first-degree murder and faces 5 counts of malicious wounding. Utah Representative Mia Love has conceded in the race in the state's 4th congressional district. In her concession speech today, Love criticized President Donald Trump.
However, this gave me a clear vision of his world as it is. No real relationships, just convenient transactions.
And President Trump has rejected a dire climate change report. Trump reported today he doesn't believe it, despite that it came from his own administration. Back to you on the studio.
Thank you, Austin. A sunny day today, but another cold blast on the way.
Yeah, Jordan Overton joins us with more on today's Oklahoma weather. Jordan?
That's right. It's been chilly outside today. In fact, we barely made it out of the 40s. And yesterday, if you were outside, you probably felt the wind. We saw wind gust 40 to 50 miles an hour. Even some reports of power poles that were leaning to the side thanks to the very heavy winds. But the bad news about that is it brought all the leaves down off the trees. All the leaves came off the trees. And we'll have the chance to pick those up this week. And I'll let you know what the weather's going to be like. But for now, back to you guys.
Thank you, Jordan. Wedged in between Black Friday and Cyber Monday is Small Business Saturday. Coming up, how local stores took advantage of the occasion to promote their businesses.
Plus, Black Friday kicked off holiday shopping. Coming up, who braved the crowds for the biggest holiday sales? Welcome back. Last Saturday, more than 50 Norman businesses participated in Small Business Saturday. Small Business Saturday is a nationwide effort to promote local businesses across the country. Last Saturday was a success for local businesses with an increase in sales. This past weekend marked the 4th consecutive year Norman took part in the event.
I think that it's been great for Norman because all of the tax dollars need to go to support our fire department, our education system with the schools. I think people are just now starting to realize how important it is to shop local.
Local business owners hope Small Business Saturday increase their base and will have a positive impact moving forward. Long lines, big crowds, but great sales.
Olivia Whitehead joins us in the E-Report on why the Black Friday thrill exists for so many.
Well, you guys, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas as the temperature lowers, the decorations go up, and every shopping mall across the country starts to look like a zoo. Black Friday kicked off the shopping frenzy of this season with heavy traffic, long lines, and of course, new deals. And even though the same deals can be found throughout the internet today, some people still enjoy the late night runs.
I come out here because it's Black Friday. I just love the thrill, having a reason to go out late, to go shopping with my friends, and just spend time with my friends, make memories, watch some people argue over stuff. It's just great.
And while some students may break the bank shopping, others are focusing on the balance of school and holding a job. I had the chance to talk to a couple of students who work for a company offering alternative positions and accessible hours.
Most students have been immersed in the world of technology and social devices from a young age, and now are able to use their expertise on digital interaction to earn some extra money while in school. Arbonne is a health and wellness company that offers time-manageable consultant positions. Students are able to sell their products online through their personal websites while using social media platforms as the backbone in promoting their business.
I think especially within our generation, younger girls are really interested in getting into health and fitness and stuff. And so I think that that's the theory behind it is getting girls on board. And then we are all pretty much users of social media. So it's kind of using that to promote your business.
Arbonne provides opportunities for more flexible options while earning income on your own schedule. The company tries to motivate its employees through incentives.
Arbonne gives you incentive trips. There's one going on in a couple of weeks. I think it's in Jamaica. And so you just have to have qualifying volume and sales to go on it. Go with your team. It's just like a bonding experience, and I'm really excited to get to go on those in the future.
With the constant growth of technology, students can more easily reach a wider audience and target their peers on campus.
I think it's already started to grow a lot, like even within my sorority house, and I know a lot of the other ones on campus, like there's a lot of girls platforming off of other girls selling it too. And so I think like with the use of social media and with the use of like all just talking, it's going to grow even more as time goes on.
The use of technology and social media kind of offers flexibility to those joining an online workforce, so college students are kind of able to be their own boss while struggling the stresses of school and working. You know?
And just because social media is so relevant in today's society, I think that's really something that benefits a lot of teens. A lot of teens would know how to use Twitter, how to use
Everyone's
Instagram,
kind of
all that
already
stuff.
on their devices, so might as well be able to work from
Make
it
money.
too. Yeah.
There you go, exactly.
Good, Olivia.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
The White House is getting its annual Christmas makeover, and we've got a sneak peek. Coming up, our Washington correspondent takes us through this year's decorations.
And while it's nice here in Norman, some states haven't been so lucky. Jordan Overton is standing by with more on the snowstorm that hit the northern part of the country.
That's right. I'm going to have some snow totals and some record-breaking snowfall coming up after the break. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Jordan Overton with 6 weather. So over the weekend, if you were watching the news or looking outside, you saw there was a big-time snowstorm that came across the entire United States, caused a lot of travel impacts. Let's talk about it. So it started off late in the weekend, Saturday at 4 o'clock, and watch this thing just all across the country. I mean, snow, lots of rain and mix. Even in Oklahoma, we had a light dusting in northern Oklahoma of snow with the system on Sunday afternoon. Look at this, Kansas City, St. Joseph, Missouri, just lots and lots of snow, and it keeps going. Now here's what's interesting. Around Sunday at 5 o'clock, here in St. Louis, just northwest, see this heavy rain right here? Actually a tornadic thunderstorm. We had a tornado warning in St. Louis, and then 50 miles to the northwest, heavy snow, falling at over 1 inch per hour. Incredible, the system that came through. Just watch it continuing to spin, and by the time we get to early around midnight today, this system is across the entire northeastern United States. Just incredible as it continues to move across, and wow, an incredible storm system bringing lots of snow. In fact, how much snow did it bring? I talked about that record-breaking snowfall. Here we go, 4 to 8 inches, 8 to 12 inches, 12 inches plus. And just northwest of Chicago, Rockford, Illinois, they set a record, 11 inches of snow, which is the most they've had since 1905. So just an incredible, over 100-year record broken over the past weekend in Illinois. But here in Oklahoma, temperatures aren't going to be too bad. We're going to be sitting at the 30s tonight across the state. Then as we get to tomorrow, it's really not going to be too bad of a day. And then as we get to tomorrow, temperatures are going to be hanging out inside the 50s. Then we extend the forecast out, it's really not going to be too bad out there. We're going to be warming up. And for Oklahoma, the leaves that just fell down yesterday, going to be perfect conditions to go out and rake the leaves. We're going to see temperatures in the 50s and a few 60s.
I love me some 60s, especially around November, December. I can't be happier than that.
I kind of wish we could have got some of that snow, though.
I know.
I'm ready for that.
There's still time. There's got to be time. We'll get some snow eventually.
We'll have more chances.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jordan. And the Christmas holiday is now less than a month away, and lights and decorations are beginning to pop up at homes. OU Nightly's Storme Jones is in Washington, D.C. with the first look at this year's decorations in the People's House.
With Thanksgiving behind us, folks here at the White House are fast at work, but it's not all budgets and lame ducks. One group is working to deck the halls.
We were invited for a sneak peek at this year's holiday decorations, complete with Christmas carols from the Marine Band. Each year, the Office of the First Lady carefully plans the decorations and a group of volunteers assemble them. This year's theme is American Treasures. It's noticeably more colorful than last year's spread. The 19-foot-tall White House Christmas tree arrived from North Carolina last week. Also highlighted is the First Lady's anti-cyberbullying campaign, Be Best. According to the White House, the First Lady has been planning this year's decorations since August.
And the President and First Lady are expected to attend the annual National Christmas Tree Lighting on Wednesday. At the White House, Storme Jones, OU Nightly.
And is it possible to get the First Lady to come and install some lights on my apartment?
I want that big tree she has.
I'll make the call. I've already got a tree. You don't even have to worry about that. You just got to put
I don't
it
have
up,
that
throw
yet,
on some
but
lights. It'll look really
I
nice.
love it. I'm
There
all
you
about
go.
it.
Yeah. Shifting gears a little bit here, the Sooners won a thriller in Morgantown, and now they have a chance at revenge. Kelsea Bickerstaff has more on the game and their date with the Texas Longhorns.
Yeah, Sam, this weekend the Sooners will head to Jerry World for a chance to grab their 4th straight Big 12 title. And a former Sooner shared some words with his old head coach. Sports is next. The Oklahoma Sooners are heading to the Big 12 championship after beating West Virginia. Kyler Murray came back as Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week. Kennedy Brooks was named Newcomer of the Week, and Austin Seibert received Special Team Player of the Week honors. Madeline Roberts and Josh Callaway break down the Sooner thriller.
There have been a ton of crazy football games this OU football season, but Josh, I think this one takes the cake. The Sooners waltz into Morgantown, West Virginia, and beat the Mountaineers 59-56. What a wild game.
Yeah, not even close. This is the craziest game of the season. Unbelievable game, unbelievable win, probably the best win of the Lincoln Riley era.
I would definitely say the best win of the season by a lot.
Oh, for sure.
Josh, so much happened in this game, but what's something that stood out to you?
You know, I've been working on this theory that it doesn't matter the defense is terrible because the offense is that good and the defense finds a way to make plays. That's what happened. It doesn't matter if the defense is bad. They can still beat anybody because they have Kyler Murray, the greatest offense I've ever seen, and the defense is capable of making the plays when they have to. That was what stood out to me, is that my theory was on point. I don't care. The defense can be bad. Go for it. If you're going to win 59-56, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the defense did give up a lot of points, but they had those 2 touchdowns.
Huge
I mean, unbelievable
plays.
Performance from the defense despite, giving up all those plays. Like Josh said, they found a way to make it happen. So since the Sooners got the win today, they'll play Texas, a rematch in the
second best
Big
game of the year.
12
We get it again.
title game.
Run it back.
What are you looking for in that game, Josh?
I like OU a lot, actually. And even if OU had won the game the first time, I would say, watch out for Texas. Second time around, Kyler Murray's ready to go. He said all along, I don't know if it was last week or week before, I always wanted Texas the second time. I like OU a lot in that game.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely, it'll be a tough one, but I think they're looking to avenge that loss. If I'm a Texas fan, I'm a little bit worried about having to play OU a second time.
I feel great about Oklahoma going into that game.
That is all for you right now, but stay with OU Nightly and OUNightly.com until we see you in Jerry World.
Over the break, Sooner basketball took a trip to compete in the Bahamas. The women's team lost both of their games to UAB and Clemson and will head to New Mexico on Wednesday. The men's team came back 2-1 as they topped Florida 65-60 on Wednesday, lost to Wisconsin 78-58 on Thanksgiving, and beat Dayton 65-54 on the final day of their tournament, placing 3rd. The Sooners will host North Texas tomorrow night. Another weekend for Baker Mayfield as he led the Browns to a 35-20 win over the Cincinnati Bengals. Mayfield had a career-high 4 touchdowns, passing for 258 yards. He competed against former teammate Joe Mixon, who led the Bengals with 14 carries and 89 rushing yards. He also showed up former head coach Hugh Jackson. The two seemed friendly at the end of the game, but Baker had more to say.
Left Cleveland, goes down to Cincinnati. I don't know. It's just somebody that was in our locker room asking for us to play for him and then goes to a different team. We play twice a year. Everybody can have their spin on it, but that's how I feel.
I guess Baker just had to say what he had to say.
Yeah, I guess so. Thank
Sounds
you,
like
Kelsey.
it. Thank you. Well, after months of traveling through space, the InSight mission has found its way to Mars.
Coming up, what the mission will hope to discover about the mysterious planet.
Welcome back. I'm McKenzie Gladney at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Mississippi police are investigating 2 nooses and 6 signs that were found at their capital this morning. Police do not know the motivation. Mississippi is preparing for a U.S. Senate race between Republican Cindy Hyde-Smith and Democrat Mike Espy, who is seeking to become the first African-American Mississippi senator. Police are not releasing images of the signs until their investigation is complete.
McKenzie, and for the 8th time in human history, NASA has successfully landed on Mars. After 7 months of NASA's InSight mission traveling through space, InSight sent the official beep to NASA to signal that it is alive and well.
Touchdown confirmed.
Mission control at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory exploded into applause and cheers, as you just saw. InSight is going to spend the next 2 years exploring a part of Mars we know least about, its deep interior. This will teach lessons to help prepare and send astronauts to the moon and eventually to Mars. Jordan, we talked about it earlier. What's the rest of the week looking like?
Yeah, the rest of the week is looking fantastic. A perfect time to go out and blow the leaves away, but a great week ahead.
I like it.
Awesome.
And thanks for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.